Hi everyone. Today we'll start about our unfinished work on UGC NET Management chapter unit part 2, and we will do today previous year questions. So stay tuned. So you can see we are starting from the decision making. The decision making are like identifying the problems, gather information, development of alternatives, evaluate the select the best alternatives, implement the decisions, follow up and evaluations. Type of decision, there are two types: program decisions and non-program decisions. I can explain about structures, but the non-program are no builds on structures. And if you can see this there is a explanation of the Harvard Simon bounded rationality model, like bounded rationality, like decision making have cognitive limitations, cannot process all the information, time and cost constraint, limited knowledge for alternatives. Satisfying, maybe the bounded model is more satisfying because the decision are good enough to choose from the alternatives. And in the construct with the rational model, like rational model are complete informations, bounded rationality are limited informations, maximizing satisfying. And if you see that there is implication of this model, like realistic approach, acknowledgement, human limitation, and practical complex situation in that practical world. Focus on acceptable solutions. Administrative man versus economic man. Like economic man means perfect arsenal, complete informations. Administrative man means bounded rationalities, satisfying behavior. Sorry. What is the dysentery? Dysentery is nothing but a graphical presentation of showing a consequence of decisions and their possible outcomes, like decision nodes, chance of nodes, branches, layoffs. So there is mainly a component are four nodes, decision nodes, chance nodes, branches, and layoffs. Advantages are like visual representations, systematic analysis, easy to understand, useful for sequential decision. It's completely depends on you. Now we come for the organization structure. Compare the functional, divisional, and matrix structure. Like functional structure means uh, grouping by function, marketing, finance, production, HR. And divisional structure means grouping by products, geography, customers. So first we come for the functional structure, then we go for the divisional structure. So these two are very important, and then we come for the matrix structure. Matrix structure are nothing but advantages, disadvantages of the dual reporting. So this is the matrix structure. Now we come for the comparison table of the functional division and the matrix division. So you can see the functional, divisional, and matrix are basis are functional, output, and dual. Matrix are dual. Or theoretically are clear applicable, but in the matrix it's not dual. Uh, Let me explain the staff and line organization. The line organization are directed by vertical relationships, and it is clear chain of command. It is about the head of the organization who take the action and direction, and this is the features are very simple, like simple structure, direct accountability, quick decisions, unity of command. Staff organization are adversary and supportive role, no direct authority over limit, specialty providing the expertise. Adversary like a legal HR consultant, service IT management and maintenance. Control system may be quality and audits. This is the parts of this calendar. And the line and staff organization. Line and staff organization means combine both. And line managers are executive operations. Staff are providing the expertise. So this is a common structure in the organization. Like line manager are doing executive the operation and staff manager advising, giving the expertise in their field. And define the managerial roles of economics and explain its scope. Managerial role in economics apply by quantitative methods to business decision making, and nature are very simple, like it's microeconomic, normative, like prescriptive, what should be pragmatic, practical application, and use of micro concept like GTP inflation for the planning. And if you know about the scope are very simple, like demand analysis, forecasting, product and production analysis, price decisions, profit management, capital management, strategic planning, relationship with other disciplines like economics like core foundation, statistics, data analysis, operations, accountability, marketing cost, finance cost, investment decisions. These kind of things are comes under the scope of the managerial economics. So managerial economics, you have to understand this is a nominative case. This is important, and it is microeconomics. I already talked about the law of diminishing marginal utility. So law of diminishing marginal utility is stated that the consumption of a commodity increases and the marginal utility derived from each additional unit decreases. So the thing is that consumption of commodity increases and the marginal utility derived from each additional units decreases. The total satisfaction from all units consumed, total utility, and the marginal utility is the additional satisfaction from one more unit. like total the satisfaction you gain from the all unit after you consume, and then you consume one extra unit, then how much you satisfaction gain from that unit. This is the marginal utility. Like the marginal utility is changing to you by changing quantity. This is the case. So this is the natural case. Assumptions are very basic, like rational consumption, cardinal measurement of utility, no change in taste preference, standard units, constant income. This is the case. Okay, now we can leave this part. And the diagrams are quite simple, like utility curve. It's like this. You can imagine this utility curve, and this is the quantitative, and this is the quantity. So we first the total utility will be go increase, and then after saturation point, this is saturation point. This it will be go down and decrease, and 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 then there is a negative marginal utility, because after saturation point the marginal utility is decreased. So 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 you can see this is the marginal utility, this point, because after 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 the consumption, then all product consumed, then we are getting the marginal utility for one extra units. and then after that you need actually marginal utilities decrease when situations is come. It is going negative direction, negative slope. So this is the utility versus quantity curve. Increase at decrease rate reaches maximum, then decline, and the MU curve actually downward sloping becomes zero at saturations and negative after utility. So this is the curve for these both of them. Now implications and limitations. Uh, you can you can talk about this later. First, we talk about the indifference curve and the consumer equilibrium. Indifference curve are showing the combination of two goods, like curve showing combination of two goods provide equal satisfaction to the customers. Uh, Curve showing combination of two curve showing combination of two goods providing equal satisfaction to the consumer, like it's indifference curve. Showing the combination of two goods providing equal satisfaction. Now, if you come close, like if you very closely monitor that downward slope converges to origin, higher IC never intersect and cannot touch axis. Now, the indifference curve, like this is showing the combination of two goods providing equal satisfaction to the consumers, and the downward sloping like slope negative slopes like substitute one another, and convex to origin, like it is diminishing in nature with MRS. The higher I see, higher satisfactions, and never intersect with because they would violate the consistency. So it would never intersect. So it cannot touch the axes. Consume assumptions consumption both goods, because in assumption we are actually think both goods are consumed, so it never touch the axis, and it's a negative slope. It's very important. Now, marginal rate of substitution. It is a rate at which consumers substitute one good for another. So marginal rate of substitution means it is rate of substitution means one good for another, like diminishing diminishing MRS conveying of IC. Budget line is the source affordable combination of giving to income and price. Budget line is the showing the affordable combination give to give income and price, like equation like M equals to PXY and PYY. So the slope is negative. So budget line is the affordable combination of given income and price. Budget line show the affordable shows the budget line shows the affordable combination given income and price. Shows the affordable combination of given income and price. So this is the budget line. Uh, Occurs when IC tangent to the budget line. Occurs when the IC tangent to the budget line. Necessarily, like MRS are price to ratio, like price ratio. It is quite it is quite interesting to see the points from here. So budget line show the affordable combination of given income and price, income and price. So this is income, this is price, this is the budget line. I mean, the slope is negative in this income and price. Maybe this one. Consumer equilibrium when the IC is tangent to the budget line. when the IC is tangent to the budget line. Okay, this is the question. I almost got the good Y and good X. Income and price is negative. Budget line is this, and at the point A, we are making maximum satisfaction. IC tangent to budget line and marginal, and what we're going here, marginal rate of substitution, the rate at one, the rate at which consume substitute one good for another, the consumer substitute one good for another, the rate at which consumer substitute one good for another, the rate the rate at which consumer substitute one good for another, the rate at which consumer substitute one good for another. Okay, now we go for MRS. Marginal substitute rates P X by PY. It's quite simple and advantages of the utility analysis. No need to measure the utility. More heuristics. Explain all types of goods superior to analytical tools. Applications are quite different. The price effect, substitution and income effect, and income effect, and consumer surplus measurement. So you can now we come for the question number 22. The expression the price elasticity of demand and its determinants. Like we know that the change in quantity by demand by change in price. Change in quantity demand means percentage of change means change in quantity demand by total quantity demand price. And this is quite interesting. If you look at this observation, you can detect this rapidly elastic demand. It's mean this where it is equals to infinity horizontal demand curve. Any point at any price increases zero demand, at any price increase zero demand, at any price increase zero demand. Elastic demand, it is about change in demand, change in price. And the example luxury goods, it's item with substitute unit unit elasticity demand A equals to once the change in quantity demand equal to the change in price. Rectangular hyperbola, total revenue constant. Inelastic means ED ED less than one. It means that the change in price is more than change in quantity, and the perfectly inelastic demand, when the vertical demand, like this is the curve for perfectly inelastic demand. And inelastic demand, it is a change in the it is one is one greater than ED. This means price change is more than quantity change and demand. Example are like necessity goods, salt, medicine, etc. Elastics, and we can go for the elastic demand, but equal to one, and it is like quite a rectangular hyperbola. Total revenue cost constant determines the availability of the substitute. Like the more substitutes, more elastics. Example tea and coffee. The nature of the commodity, like necessity goods are inelastics and luxury goods are elastics. Elastics means, I mean, the change the change in quantity more than change in price. So luxury goods are elastics, like they are changing quantity is more than the price, and the necessity goods are not elastics. They are changing price is more than change in quantity. So this is necessary one and comforts for comfort zone. Now we go for the portion of the income spent, like small portion in a large portion elastics card houses. So the large portion go for the elastic products, not the inelastic product. So you can start business on this kind of things. You get more profits. Time period like short run in elastics, long run elastics. Time to adjust. Now we go for the number of usages, multiple usages, elastics like milk, usages like in elastics. Post postponement like can postponement like strong loyalty, inelastics, quick loyalty, elastics. Durability goods are elastics, participle goods are inelastics. Durable goods are elastics, participle goods are inelastics. This is very important chat for us retirements. So you can see from here the elastic goods are highly priced, and the inelastics are participle and short term. Not so much profit income goes for more for elastic goods. Brand loyalty. There is strong loyalty for inelastic goods. There is a loyalty for elastic goods, and multiple usage cases is elastic like milk, electricity. In elastics, it's a single usage, but we have to use continuously. This is the relationship with revenue, like the price decrease, revenue increase, no revenue change, and the price change. So this is for the uh, in it is unity demand, and it is for elastic demand. It is for non-elastic demand. We comfort this again. We comfort the demand curve. So what are we talking? We're talking about the elastic demand greater than one, inelastic demand less than one. So this is the elastic demand greater than one, elastic demand, and it's inelastic demand less than one. When the price goes down, revenue increase. When the price goes down, revenue decrease. In this inelastic demand, the price goes down, the revenue decreases. The compare with the perfect competition with monopoly. Perfect competition with monopoly. Very large single seller homogeneous product. It's not simple. It's you can note this price equal to marginal cost, marginal revenue, and AR average revenue. Here is in this case price greater than marginal cost and average revenue more than marginal revenue monopoly. And there is nothing. If you look for the things, then it's a free, and this is the flow failures. Perfect competition equilibrium like hello.